What is going on, guys? Valk here. Today we've got probably the biggest patch stream in E7 probably for like almost a year now. There's a lot of content to be talked about today. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. First up, we got the side story for 2022 Valentine's Day. And this will be Vivian and Kawerik's event. And I think the most notable thing about this side story is for the first time we will have 88 gear in our side story. So if you're relatively new, I think this is going to be amazing news. I think the quality of this gear remains to be seen depending on whether these gear are going to roll like level 85 gear, for example like the arena gear, which they're pretty hit or miss, or if they're going to roll like the hell rate gear, where they'll roll like level 90 gear and they could produce some pretty amazing pieces, especially for the ones we've seen. We've seen a pen set one as well as a speed set one. Those start at, I believe, 4 and 5 base speed respectively, and if they roll like the level 88 gear, they're going to be an absolute force. And for a lot of players, they're going to be some of your most valuable pieces. On top of that, we're also getting some new side story artifacts. We'll have the Empress as well as the Emperor. And they're just very cool, very flavorful artifacts that, they look great. And the effect, usable. Ultimately, I think how they can be used will have to remain to be seen. Having these are always pretty cool, but I think in terms of actual PvP usage, they're probably not the best, as they do need to be run with each other to receive the full effect. And even then, it's just 24% of stats total, 12% attack, and 12% defense. So, something cool, but I don't think it's anything too crazy. And now, those things aside, we're also going to be getting the new Villainous Vivian skin for 2022 through the Epic Pass. For those of you guys that are wondering if this is worth, I'd say the Epic Pass is almost always worth, with the exception of if you don't care that much for the skin or you don't have the hero, you could probably skip the skin, but generally speaking, Epic Passes are always worth to pick up, and it's always good to hear that we're getting them. They usually give a lot of rewards that is worth a lot more than the Sky Stone you put in. So definitely good to hear. And alongside that, we also have a Vivian drop rate ups starting from after the maintenance to a week from now. For people who don't already have Vivian, I don't think right now she is a super valuable hero. For players who are looking to perhaps one-shot a Banshee 13 or a Ziminak 13, I think she's a very flexible hero that could help with both of those things. But outside of that, I don't think a Vivian is a must-have, because even in those two specific roles, she's decently replaceable, I would say. So whether or not you should pull for her just comes down to whether or not you like the hero and whether or not you wouldn't mind spending resources for a mostly PvE hero. After that, we have drop rate up for Fire Kawerik. This is one of those ones where I don't think most players are going to pull. I actually think he's quite strong when it comes to PvP, especially with a high level of investment. He's a very fun hero to play, but ultimately when it comes down to it, I think there are better speed DPSs you could be building. And on top of that, he's a very expensive hero. He needs some really good gear and probably at least 0.55 in terms of MOLA investment to really see a return on the investment that you kind of like put in him. As far as Kawerik is involved, I would say pull for him if you have a speed DPS gear dedicated for him, if you have the molas to set aside, if you play an aggressive playstyle that can facilitate a non-supported self-sufficient DPS. Alright, and the next thing coming up is the Ancient Inheritance, the long-awaited guild PvE content. I don't think we've been given too much information, but generally from the get-go, it's looking like it will be over the course of a slightly longer period, over like 2-3 weeks, and this is just something you kind of work on daily with some guildmates to grind out mobs and to get some small rewards. Now, the one thing to know in this mode are going to be the stat bonuses that some of your heroes are going to be receiving. I think this is going to make or break the game mode. Essentially, if this bonus, if the information we're receiving on the stream is accurate, what will most likely happen is that these heroes are powered up. Now, the only thing I'm worried about is that if these power-ups are persistent for these heroes outside of Ancient Inheritance, I think that could actually mess with the balance of the game quite a bit. But from looking at it, it's looking like it's mostly going to be contained within the game mode. So all that being considered, I think E7 could use a game mode like Ancient Inheritance, you know, like Automaton Tower, where it gives us a lot more replayable content, and it lets us just to kind of like take the power level of some of these heroes and just crank them up to an 11. And I think that will make a lot of E7 really, really fun. Especially with people liking to build these insane stat on their heroes, right? It rewards building really crazy builds, and that's something I like to see. Especially considering some of these bosses are going to have a billion mechanics that all do crazy amounts of different things. Like, what is this even? I don't know, but hey, you know, if this is the type of content we're getting down the line, I'm pretty excited. As much as I like the game, I can't be grinding RTA 24/7, so getting a good challenge when it comes to PvE is going to add a lot of color to E7 content as a whole, which I appreciate. Up next, with the end of the season approaching, we finally have the frames, the Legend RTA frames revealed. I believe we've seen this a while ago, but now getting to see them really close, getting to the end of the season. I don't know about you guys, but I really like the Oriental aesthetic to it, so I'm going to be looking to probably grind out the end of the season. If I can get the Legend frame, that'd be cool. If not, you know, I'm happy with the Emperor frame. And that being said, let's jump into this.
Those who trust the world are either too naive or too innocent. And I'm neither of those. I don't regret the path I set upon. Do not expect mercy.
Your fate lies on the tip of my sword.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm personally very, very, very excited for this skin. Look, guys, default Arby's cool and all, but he's supposed to be the quintessential dark hero, right? And with a white jacket, you know, he just doesn't appear dark enough. And with this one, hey, if you can at least hit masters, right? A free skin's a free skin. So, you know, with that, I say we take those. After that, we do get the shop edition for the Ruele skin. This is something I believe came out, I think season 4, right? Now that all of the older RTA skins are going to the shop, Ruele will be added as well. Looks pretty cool. If you guys weren't playing RTA at the time, or if missed Masters for that season to miss a skin, now's your chance to get her. After that, we have the February balance adjustments. I already made a video on this one previously. If you guys want to know my thoughts specifically on each one and every single one of those changes, I will be putting a link for that somewhere on screen right about now. These changes are going to shake up the meta quite a bit. For those of you guys that play RTA very often, you'll know that, you know, for a few heroes now, right, the new releases have generally been very speed heavy, high base speed units, control heroes with good support utility that can be comboed with other heroes that just been buffed or released recently that have a lot of like oppressive mechanics for slower players to overcome. And I think with the buff of Designer Lilibet, Green Celine, there's a lot more tools for slower players to use now to be able to come back versus these turn 1 cleaves and versus these aggressive teams. So I'm definitely interested in seeing how the meta shakes up after these units buffs have come in. And after that, we have the announcement that E7WC for 2022 will be coming back between June and August. Not only that, we'll have an increased prize pool. I do believe last year we have somewhere around like $50,000 for all of the participants in the top 8. So having an increased prize pool for this year definitely means, you know, Smilegate is putting more into investing into esports. So regardless, I think that's very positive news to hear for me as an E7 creator. I'm excited to see what type of excitement they can bring to the more competitive side of E7. Up next, we have Hwayoung's banner rate up coming in around the end of the RTA season. She's going to be on her own banner with her own artifact, Indestructible Gators. I've already made a video on that alongside my take on her and whether or not you should summon next to Bad Cat Armin. So that should be on screen sometimes around now. And after that, for March, okay, it says January, but this should be the new expedition rotation for March. We'll be having Dark Element, Fire Element, and Green Element. Luckily for us, the good news is Fire Element's finally coming back, the only real Expo. But as a trade-off, we'll also be getting the Green Expo. So if you have your Fire Tennies, your Fire Mercedes, it's time to put gear on them again and just have them on PvE gear for the next 3 months or so. After that, alongside with Bad Cat Armor's release, we are going to get a Mystic Summon revamp check-in event. This will give us a pity for ML4s on Mystic banners. I'm not quite sure how the system works yet, since the pity for ML4s on any given Mystic banner is set to be at 110. No word on whether or not this consumes your pity, so when the feature comes out, we'll probably have to have some people test it before we can give the final say on whether or not it's a good rework or a bad rework. After that, starting March, the coin shop rotation will be for the ML5s, ML Ken, and Designer Lilibet. For the RGB 5s, it will be Fire Cecilia and Roana. I'm particularly excited for Designer Lilibet in this rotation because that's one of the heroes people are always excited for, and now that she's getting a buff, she should be getting quite a bump in her power levels. So excited to see who decides to pick her up here, or if, like many people in the community, they're going to hold for Hand Guy. Next up, we have new items in the guild shop. First of all, we'll be having 4 new items with the Mystic Medals and each one of the golden elemental summons being available for purchase with armbands. On top of that, gold transmit stones being reduced in price, as well as being able to be purchased twice per week instead of once every month. So definitely a lot more things we can do with our armbands, but we kind of lack ways to get armbands. So with this, I'm willing to almost bet that with Ancient Inheritance, there's probably ways to get more armbands so that we can get these cool new items in the guild shop. I don't know who else is excited for this, but I'm very excited for the customizable group summon preview. No word on when this will come in exactly, but this is gonna be very, very nice for newer players to pick up 3 heroes they really need alongside with artifacts. For returning players, this will cover anything that's been on banner in the past 6 months. So if you missed a lot of limiteds, or if you missed certain heroes like Ran that didn't get a super warm reception when they were released, this is your chance to kind of pick them up. For me personally, I'm very excited for the prospect of being able to get more limited artifacts like Wall of Order, Draco Plate. Those are going to be things I'm looking for when I do this. But overall, this is a very good tool for new players to use to really buff out their roster and fill out the roster in terms of early PvE units and early PvP units that they're really going to need to enable their playstyle. And that aside, we also have Twitch drops enabled now for streamers on Twitch for Epic 7, which I think is pretty cool considering that I'm a streamer that streams on Twitch. So this might bring more people to my stream. So hey, if you guys are looking forward to get some of these drops, be sure to drop by my stream, drop me a follow, and watch some RTA content. Last but not least, we have the Guilty Gear Strive collab with E7. I know a lot of people are going to rag on Smilegate for this because for the 3 years that we've had the game, every year has had a Guilty Gear collab. And when we were waiting for the collab this year, before ReZero came out, I even joke, oh, you know, what if we got Guilty Gear Strive? With that, we indeed are getting Guilty Gear Strive. But the cool news is that we will be getting 1 new hero. The fact that it's a Guilty Gear Strive collab makes me really hold hopes that it's going to be a very cool new Strive hero, right? So we could possibly have Ramlethal, we can have Nagori Yuki, or we can have Jacko, right? I know my friends are very excited about those heroes in particular, but you know, if we get something like Ino, which was a hero that was added to the game but not playable or summonable, I know a lot of people are going to be mad. Myself, I'm not too invested in the collab, but I would definitely be down for more new heroes and knowing that, you know, hey, we're not getting lazy recycled content. And yeah, that'd be really cool. And yeah, guys, with that being said, that would actually cover everything with the patch that was announced last night. A massive patch, I know. I'm super excited. They announced so many things that kind of outline what is going to happen with the game this year. And you know, with everything going on and RTA season ending in a week, I'm super excited for for the content to roll out, especially outside of just grinding RTA every day. That being said, those have been my thoughts. This is definitely one of those 10 out of 10 patch streams. I'm super excited. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys are looking to, or if you think there's something super exciting that maybe I didn't cover. Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya. Hey guys, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to drop me a like and subscribe. It will really help me out. If you want to catch any of these moments live, be sure to follow me at twitch.tv/Valkyria_. Also, catch me hang out in my Discord, link in description. For now, I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.